guys! So, it is the middle-ish of November, and October has already passed, which means Inktober is over. And I am so happy to announce, yes, I'm announcing it, that I completed Inktober this year. I tried it last year, but I think I got like 4 pictures done, and then I just kind of gave up. But this year, I got through the whole thing. I drew a picture in ink every single day. One day I did miss the prompt, but I did draw a picture in ink that day. So actually I drew several pictures in ink that day. I will explain when I get there. So I thought I would show you my Inktober drawings. I will have a full sketchbook tour when I finish the sketchbook, but I'll show you the ones that I did for Inktober. And this is my little raptor over here. He's gonna watch. So I have my prompt list. I taped it in here so that I could see all of my prompts, so I'd have them right there. I wouldn't have to look them up every day. So I have them and some sketches for a comic that I'm gonna do later. So the first day was poison, and I found this super cool snake on Google Images, and I just love the way the scales, they just kind of curled up instead of just laying flat. Tranquil, just a girl enjoying the wind over the ocean, feeling very tranquil. I started out using, let's see, do I actually have it here? I don't have it here. I started out using the Micron brush pen for like these big dark areas, but it quickly, the end started fraying, so I couldn't get those, you know, tiny little details on it, and then it just died on me really quickly. I was really sad because I liked it when I started using it. So, roasted. I really wanted to use the word in a not cooking sense. So we have this big ogre alien roasting Rover. About the worst insult that he could get is insulting humanity. And spell. Not too into magic, so I did this little kid spelling dinosaur because I do like dinosaurs. And if anybody knows what that symbol is, yay for you. If I can actually turn the page, that would be nice. One thing, there's this pen, I used this pen a lot, and it has this nice brush nib on one side, but it has 2 problems with it if anybody ever is thinking of buying it, which it's not a bad brush pen, but it did 2 things. It's not water resistant, which means you can't use watercolor or markers or anything with it or it will bleed, and it does this, it rubs off on the other page, which I don't like very much. Chicken. We have Colonel Sanders and a very frightened little chicken. This was going to be drooling. I kind of sketched it out ahead of time. It was going to be King David when he was pretending to be crazy to get away from his enemies, but I never ended up inking that. I might do it later. This is the day where I went, and I was busy that day. Exhausted. We have Flisper having had to hand copy a document, which, you know, in the sci-fi world usually just push a button and copy it, but this species was very insistent on it being hand copied. And Ginger Grant for the word star. If any of you are Gilligan's Island fans, you'll know who I'm talking about. She is quite full of herself. Very entertaining character. I love her. So this is the picture that I did on the day that I should have been doing drooling. Went up to a unveiling for this statue in a museum. This guy sculpted the statue, and it's life-size Columbian mammoths. And they were so amazing. So I kind of hung out in the museum all day and sketched saber-toothed cats and giant sloths. And so that day I did not sketch the prompt. I did not draw the prompt, but I did draw these things. Precious. So we have a precious, adorable little alien, but he is also precious because these crystals that they grow on their backs are very valuable, and so they are often illegally traded, these little guys. And flowing, I wanted to use, again, like I used both senses of the word here, I wanted to do that as much as possible. Like if the word had double meaning, use both of them. So she has flowing hair, which is a flowing waterfall also. I had fun doing all the water. I used to hate drawing water until I went on this trip. And there were all these waterfalls, and I couldn't help but try to draw them, even though I wasn't crazy about drawing water. And after that, I kind of like it. Cruel is Dr. Terminus from the old and best Pete's Dragon. Any of you who like I like the new one too, but the old one's better. Or more entertaining, I should say. That it was funnier than the new one. The new one was a lot more serious, but he wanted to use the dragon for medicinal purposes. This was going to be jewelry designs. Whale. The whale that pops into existence along with the geranium. Guarded. This one was really fun to do. I really liked being able to use the black just for the guards behind her, trying to make this insect princess pop out. That's probably my favorite one I did for the challenge. I was really trying to use black space. I see all of these artists like Bill Watterson or Al Capp. They're both comic artists. I guess they did newspaper comics, but they use black space so well. So Inktober, this was clock was the word for the day. This guy is selling clocks. Hey kid, you want to buy a clock? We actually had some people do this to us in New York when we got stuck in in front of the Empire State Building. There was a storm, and there was like everybody was trying to sell us watches. It was really funny because, you know, it's so stereotypical of New York, and you're like, stereotypes, no, but it's a thing. It's a thing. Weak. This bridge is not terribly strong. I'm not sure why he decided to cross this rickety old thing, but probably a shortcut. Rover's big on shortcuts. Angular. I've heard Sherlock Holmes's face described as angular many times and gave me an excuse to draw him. Swollen. Rover also likes to touch things he's not supposed to. Especially fluffy things. And in this case, it didn't turn out very well for him. Bottle. I really wanted to draw some sort of really cool bottle. And when I looked at the next few prompts, I thought I could turn this into a little comic. So this bottle is like the most expensive wine in the galaxy. You know, it has these little all of the bits that make it are still in the bottle, so it's constantly distilling. And then they have these little fireflies that keep it hot. They're little lava flies, so they continually heat the wine, and that word is scorched. So those little guys. And breakable is this days, and of course, you know, he ends up breaking this thing, this bazillion-dollar bottle of wine, and it drains out, which is this day's word. and expensive, which that was quite expensive, so he has to get out of there because he just plain does not have the money to pay for it. Muddy was this day, and I just like drawing dinosaurs. Anytime I get an excuse to draw Rover or dinosaurs, I will. So, and I used, let me show you, I used this guy as my model. It's the dromaeosaur from the Beasts of the Mesozoic line. So, posable and everything, so, yeah. And little babies got all muddy and mom's not quite sure what to do about it. Paul Bunyan for Chop. Chopped down a lot of trees. And this up here was not part of Inktober, but it was, they're making sidewalks in our trailer park, and this machine was just so interesting. They pour the cement in here, it would go through this machine, and then it would spit out the cement out the other side, and it would become a sidewalk. It was pretty cool. Prickly. There's these little tiny species on this planet that are about so tall, and since they have predators, cat-like predators on their planet, they have to make their houses unappealing to pop open, so nobody's going to try to bite down on that thing. More dinosaurs. Stretch was the word there. Always think of how birds, they look like this puffy little ball when they're cold, you know, and roosting, but then when they look at something, you know, they stretch out their necks and then they look completely different. Thunder is the cartoon that the Dalmatians from 101 Dalmatians watch. Thunderbolt. That used to be my favorite movie, 101 Dalmatians. I was kind of obsessed with that, probably from when I was 6 to maybe 14. I had shirts and all kinds of stuff. Gift is this day, and Rover and Flisper end up with a present they did not expect. Apparently this species gives their children out as gifts. Probably not the best idea. Double for this day. I thought of doing like a clone of somebody, you know, the evil twin kind of thing, but I wanted to draw dinosaurs again, so here we have a raptor that's very offended by its reflection. Jolt. Always feel like I get a jolt of coffee in the morning, you know, so Rover ended up putting some lightning creamer in Flisper's tea, and it's a little more jolting than he expected. And a slice of pie, not too unusual there. And we have Aunt Bee from Andy Griffith. Excuse me. Oh goodness, Andy Griffith show. So, and that's it. That's all 30 days. I hope you liked that, and I will see you when I do a full sketchbook tour on here. So, okay.